Happy Saturday, everybody.
Hello, how are we today?
Are you expecting an answer?
You.
Fabulous.
All right. Welcome to HLC Saturday Solutions. Hold on, we're getting something popping up. Okay.
Tips. They're trying to help us.
Oh,
That's what we do. We give tips. They're giving us tips.
whatever.
Trying to see what's going on.
Yeah, okay. Well, we thought we'd come to you today from our conference room. I'm Krista Rue from HLC Bookkeeping and Office Services.
Christina Rue from the same.
All right. And the purpose of Saturday Solutions is to help business owners, senior managers, just quick little helpers about business topics, human resource, and life.
Life.
Because that seems to interfere with work sometimes. I don't know.
And life.
And life. That's right.
Here, you gotta lean in. Lean in.
Okay, hold on. I'm doing like 100 things at once today.
Focus.
Focus. Focus and finish. That's my thing. Okay, so let's recap what we talked about last week. The first we talked about was it's a time of savings for a lot of people. So we talked about coupons and rebates, and gave you Chris the Maximizer on YouTube. She discusses a lot of money saving tips for you. Then we also talked about topic number 2, which was side hustle. A lot of people are getting a side hustle, which I don't know. I don't really like that term because, like, it's work. We're just working.
That's what we're doing.
And third is make sure you're always looking for savings on your expense sheets, and so you should be shopping electric and gas right now.
As you're looking for ways to newly budget in the new year. A lot of utilities do that budget plan.
Right.
So that might be something to look into, but for both you and your business.
Correct.
Right?
And as bookkeepers, we like budgets.
We do.
You know that. If you're following us.
Happy,
you know
happy,
that.
happy.
This is my favorite time of year. It's budget time.
Oh, good Lord.
Okay. So, today's topic, we thought we'd talk about, continue, I guess, talking about mistakes that sometimes new business owners make and how to avoid them.
Yep.
So, and this was inspired by an article from Hartford Insurance. It was common small business mistakes and what not to do. And I was like, these are really good topics. We should talk about that. So we are. So,
So they're driving a discussion.
they're driving our discussion.
We're not sticking so much to the article as the idea of the article.
That's right. So, number 1 is make sure you're being treated well by your customers. Because sometimes when you're in a relationship, it's a team.
Yes.
So we're working together to do what's best for you and for your business. And you have to be part of the process. Thank you. Thank you. I've had way too much sugar today. Way too much. And
It's true.
sometimes there's multi types of owners here. We're the owners, like, here, I'm just giving it to you. But you still have to be part of the process. You still have to answer questions for us. And then there's the other type of owner that they're like, I'm going to give this to you, but I'm going to watch everything you do. And I'm going to comment if I don't like it.
Which is good.
Which is fine, too.
I like them both.
Yeah. I can work with anyone. But the biggest thing is gratitude and appreciation. Do they appreciate what you're doing for their team?
What you're bringing to the table.
Right. And if the answer to that is no, why are they your customer? Because you don't have to work for everybody. When we first started in business 19 years ago, I was like, oh, oh, well, if people need me, I'll just work for them.
We'll help everyone.
I don't do that anymore. And there's a reason we do a house call with new customers, because people have different personalities, and it's okay if yours doesn't mesh. You don't have to take them as a customer, because you want it to be helpful for both of you.
Correct. If you can't communicate, and bookkeeping is about communicating, because your books are communicating to you as the business owner, so your bookkeeper needs to be able to communicate with you as a business owner. And if for whatever reason the personalities don't mesh, or you have a different vision and it's not going correctly, you have to be able to say,
That's right.
Let's
That's right.
disengage.
Correct. Because
Respectfully.
during that initial meeting, I tell them, look, I'm here to tell you exactly what your books are telling me. And I'm going to say it professionally, but I'm not going to sugarcoat. If we have a problem, we need to address it. So, because quite honestly, that's what you're paying me to do, to make your business better, not keep plodding along the same.
Right.
So that's important. That's important.
Yep.
To don't ignore your customers. And this can come in multiple ways. I'm very bad if I get immersed in something.
You mean because we were late today getting on?
Yes. Because I was immersed in
Because we
our
were
project.
both in our things, and
Yes.
Chris is yelling for
I'm
me.
like, it's
time! We have to get ready!
I forgot to set my alarm. Which is what I do. I now set alarms,
Yeah.
because then that way I make sure I don't get too
Correct.
immersed, and I'm moving on correctly.
Right.
So that's just a little tip. Christina's like, your alarm's gone off again. You left it at the copier. That happens. Whatever.
If you're going to do alarms, please make it a nice alarm that
Yes.
everybody in the office can appreciate.
Not that. I try not to do that one. I try. Ooh, you want to take the next one.
Don't forget to pay your taxes.
This is where a lot of new business owners
And
get in
this is
trouble.
not just your taxes at the end of the year.
Correct.
You have payroll taxes all through the year, depending on how you were set up.
Right.
You might have to pay them weekly, semi-monthly, quarterly. It all depends on
Right.
how your business is set up, how many employees you have, and what that letter you got from the PA Department of Revenue or the IRS tells you have to do. So you don't get to just choose.
That's
They
right.
tell you their expectations.
And you
Sales
better
tax
get it.
could be done monthly, quarterly, semi-annually, or annual.
Right. That's
So
right.
these are things to keep in mind, that taxes are important and you have to know your deadlines. And I have had occasions where sometimes the computer system is not working, and so you just have to keep trying. There was just a great big update. It took me forever to get onto certain websites, but you just have to keep trying.
That's why you shouldn't wait till the last minute to do it.
Correct.
If something's due the 20th, figure it out for the 15th. So you
Yep.
can try, see if there's an issue with the website.
Yep.
Gives you time to adjust to it.
Yeah, because unfortunately, they don't care.
Yeah, they don't care.
You
if
get
it's-
that penalty
Yeah,
and
if their
no
website wasn't working, oh well. You had 20 other days to turn
Should have
it in.
planned better.
That's it.
It's
That's
only
it.
if it's like a catastrophe
Right.
that they'll
Right.
waive that penalty. Usually, like whenever they did the new upgrade,
Yeah,
and there was
were
a lot
issues.
lot of interesting things happened. So like whenever people were trying, you can see that. So
That's right.
they were generous and waived that. Okay.
All right. Now, one of the other things I wanted to talk about, when you're getting into business, you're going to get a lot of people saying, oh,
You need this.
You have to have this software. You have to do this. You have to do that. Okay. We want to be responsible business owners. But I'm going to use QuickBooks because that's what we're pro advisors at. There's multiple QuickBooks. There's online. There's desktop.
Yep, and different versions
different
of desktop,
versions of each.
different tiers. So, like, just because you might say call, and they're like, oh, if you have inventory, you have to do enterprise. No. You don't. Let's talk to a pro advisor and figure out what it is you exactly need.
That's right.
Because a lot of people might do inventory, but they go through it so quickly, or it's not like they
have 200 pieces versus 2 million.
Correct. Like, let's be reasonable. And again, you can always upgrade. So you don't have to start out with the biggest bell and wish. And speaking of which, we're in our training room. So you'll see the big TV
topic number
behind
2.
us. Yeah. Oh, good transition then.
Well, we're not quite done.
Oh, crap. Well, I'm going to talk about it. I'm jumping ahead. We'll come back to
Okay, we'll come back.
Because the big TV behind us was not the big TV we started with when we were training people.
That's correct.
We worked up to it. So, like, you have to work up to. Just because it's there doesn't mean you have to have it. And you want to be conscious of your costs as a new business owner.
That's right.
And make sure that your offerings, you don't have to charge a fortune for what you do to cover your costs because you spent too much.
Right. That's right.
It's not up to your customers to cover your mistakes. How about that?
That's
that should
a good
be,
one.
That should be like a t-shirt or something.
Yeah, that is a good one. All right. And then the last topic is don't think that these good times, if we're rolling, or really bad times, if they're not rolling, last forever.
They don't.
Most businesses are like this. So it's like that, Parenthood in that movie.
Oh,
Life is not a merry-go-round. It's
not
not just one
the little old
ride.
lady. The little old lady, when she gives the poignant lesson right at the end, where she goes, some people like the merry-go-round, but it just goes in circles. I like the roller coaster.
That's right. That's right. So, don't get too high, like, oh, I'm so good, and blah, 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 and get all arrogant. No. I mean, it's great when you're in a growth period. Don't get me wrong. And, however, that's a whole other thing. Scaling. When do you hire that next employee? When do you hire that next, or get another copier and all that, because you're now getting more work? There's a lot of decisions during that. So you might be on a high making a lot of money, but now you're going to have maybe a little bit more cost, because to make money, you do have to spend some money. Right. Yeah. And then same thing, I have some of my business owners, they might have a downturn, and they're like, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to close them. Boop, 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 boop. Let's look at the market. Right. Hopefully we've budgeted well. We took into account the ups and downs that happen. So there's just, don't get so emotional. It's business. It's just decisions. Now, as I say that, there are days I'm quite stressed.
I was like, hot meat kettle.
I know. But this is things that we have to keep in mind. Because, we've been in business, 20 years almost?
Yes.
And we still fall into these traps of
we do
ups and downs.
And what do I say?
I don't know.
I don't either.
I'm usually, once I'm in my spiral,
when you're in your spiral, I'm just like, let's just take a moment. Let's relax. Let's watch some funny videos on YouTube.
Oh, yeah. That makes me happy.
Yeah.
All right. So then there's that. So let's go back to the training. So, with QuickBooks training, like I said, there's multiple options. So talk, please, to a pro advisor before you buy. It costs you nothing to call us and say, hey, I'm thinking of going into business doing blank. This is what I think is going to happen in the next year. What's the best option?
Yep.
Right. And at that time, when you choose it, we can do the training for online, or we can do the training for desktop. And that can be here at our facility, or it can be remote. We PDF you the 187-page workbook that we go through, and we do it that way.
Yep.
It's whatever works for you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, then number 3, we want to talk about, because when you're scaling, or if you're in a downturn, sometimes you need a loan. And banks need specific types of documents.
And it's not just your business documents they'll need. If you have to do a personal guarantee, they need to know about you too. So we're just kind of highlighting some things, just like you have your balance sheet for your business. You have a balance sheet.
That's
personally.
Right.
You have cash assets. You have maybe houses, cars, whatever. All these things, right, are part of who you are and what could serve to help you get a loan at a bank. So you want to list your possessions, that sort of thing.
And your debts.
Your debts have to be listed as well.
That's part of the equation.
Yeah, that's coming off. These are people you're already paying, so you have to know. Do you rent or own your home? Do you have any unpaid taxes? Remember, coming around circles.
That's right.
All that can factor into a loan. That's why
That's
it's so important to stay up to date on your taxes. Do you have a mortgage? What's your current salary? And this isn't the salary you want. This is the salary you're actually putting in a bank account.
That's right.
So let's be realistic.
That's right. That's right.
Do you get dividends? Do you rent property? What type of other income do you get? Are you getting annuity payments or something like that? You want to be able to list all that stuff. Let's see. Do you have any pending legal litigation that may affect
That's right.
your income or expenses? That can sometimes be a question. And this is where we like to work with people that we know, that we have helped clients get a loan, or we've gotten a loan. Once you start establishing a relationship with the bank, and you should have multiple banks.
That's right.
Not just one that you work with all the time, because they offer different things. Sometimes this one's offering great rates on a money market. Sometimes this one's offering great rates on CDs. You know, so don't limit yourself, but you want to make sure that you have people you know, like, and trust that are in the banking industry that can kind of walk you through this. Do you have investments, securities? I think I said that already. Life insurance. Are you going to need life insurance on this loan? So your family's not left paying it if something happens to you. Sometimes you can get that as part of the loan, and sometimes you can't, so make sure you find out for sure. And then what businesses are you a part of? Because sometimes you might have, we were talking about the word Krista doesn't like, the side hustles, so you might have multiple streams of income, so they might want to know about those as well.
They definitely will want to know.
I know. I said may, but
I know.
We all know they do.
Yeah, they will.
Yeah. The credit cards, people. Credit cards are part of cash flow. So, if you have a credit card with a $10,000 limit and you're like, oh, I'm fine, I make those payments all the time. But what's your balance on those credit cards? See what I'm saying here? That's important, and you need to know that. So you can have a financial that you give to the bank about you personally, as well as your business and what you're doing there. So like banks need to see the full picture, and that's because they're giving you money.
Yes.
It's important.
They're allowed to ask questions.
You are their investment. So think of it this way. So you wouldn't unwisely invest in something that you know is not quite up there. So you want to make sure that you're presenting the best picture possible.
Yeah, and if you get turned down, that's not forever.
Ask them why.
Yeah, ask them why. Say,
what do I need
to
to work on?
change? What has to What are the ratios you're looking for?
Correct.
So that I make sure I get in that line.
Yep.
Because this is a process.
It is.
So, again, it's never, anytime you can obtain new information that helps you in your business, it's a win.
It definitely is. Yep. And again, if you're networking and marketing like we've told you to do, you have people you can talk
That's
to
right.
about this.
Before you even apply.
Yeah. Absolutely.
All right. Well, those are our
20
three
minutes.
topics.
We're done. We're done. 20 minutes.
However, last week we forgot to give all of our contact information.
Oh, that's true. We were just,
We're like, oh, we're done. That's it. Bye-bye. Yeah. So, again, our phone number, 724-561-7460.
HLCbookkeeping.com.
And our email is office@yourhlc.com. Our hours are Monday through Thursday, 9 to 5. Friday and Saturday are by appointment only.
Yes.
Yeah. So just keep that in mind.
Yeah, because I was joking around about how if people knock on the door, it'll be like Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Where we're like, who's at our door, boys and girls? Because we're not going to answer during our little thing here.
That's right. Because we're doing our thing. That's right. All right.
Isn't that funny?
I know.
Who's at the door, boys and girls?
What was that romper room? I see Kristen and Dina. I never said Krista.
Krista,
They would say Christina, but they never said Krista.
It's obviously a moment for her.
Yes.
So
It was upsetting. I felt excluded.
we see you.
I
It's
know.
okay.
I know. It's fine now. Obviously not. It's still there. All right. But that's what we know for today. And
Yep.
again, feel free to send in topics you would like us to talk about.
Absolutely.
And go from there.
Yep. Have a wonderful time this week.
Stay warm. It's a little chilly today.
It is. That's why we're doing. Oh, you don't even have your sweater
Well,
on.
I took
can't
it off
believe
because
it.
it doesn't match what I'm wearing.
Oh, okay. Bye-bye. See what she does for you.